Hello, BookTube. A little mail haul for you on the eve of yet more human company. So the video making schedule may be disrupted a bit, but we've got 4 packages here, and it ends with a box, so we'll see what kind of trouble we can get into. And I promise this time I will not be inflicting a catalog on you, although some of you were very nice in your emails and texts and whatnot about the 2 catalogs that I inflicted on you. Some of you, one person, one person texted and said that I'm the only person on Earth that she would actually go through, take a guided tour through a book catalog with. Not just the only person on BookTube, but the only person in the world. That was very nice. But none of that this time around. None of these are small enough to be a catalog, so we're all set. So we'll see what this first one is. And who knows, maybe company will be willing to be on camera. You never know. Oh, great. Okay. I think this is a debut novel. I think I requested this. Yes, it is. Okay, this is a debut novel about that's due in April. About that poor, pitiable segment of humanity known as the avid birder. This is The Life List of Adrian Mandrick, and it's by Chris White, and it's about an avid birder. Which is why it has the good God bird on the cover there, because every birder dreams of being the one to be in a Georgia swamp and see the great woodpecker, to finally get iPhone footage of the great woodpecker, hoping that they survived. This is an advanced copy. Okay, so I'll just read you from, and we'll see why this attracted my attention. This is an insightful debut novel about a pill-popping anesthesiologist and avid birder who sets out to find one of the world's rarest species, determined to stop at nothing until he's forced to confront his obsessions and what they've cost him. So it's a feel-good road novel set around the spine of birding that will probably have a by-the-numbers schmaltzy conclusion. It could be that this is designed to be a screenplay. We shall see. It looks like that on the surface, but I've had books do that. I've had books look like that on the surface and then end up being wonderful. The Last Laugh from just this year is a perfect example. You read the jacket copy and you think, oh my God, this is a Lifetime movie. And the book was wonderful. It's all about execution. So we'll go on to the next one here. Let's see what this next one is. Oh, fantastic. Okay, this is a bit late getting to me. This is by Paul Kix, who is a deputy editor at ESPN magazine. And it's called The Saboteur, the aristocrat who became France's most daring anti-Nazi commando, which is sort of a trial balloon for a possible review in, I think, the Christian Science Monitor. A scion of one of the most storied families in France, Robert de Rochefoucauld. Rochefoucauld will be a name familiar to those of you who know about American revolutionary history, because we wouldn't be a country without him, was raised in a magnificent chateau and educated in Europe's finest schools. When the Nazis invaded and imprisoned his father, La Rochefoucauld escaped to England and learned the dark arts of anarchy and combat, cracking safes and planting bombs and killing with his bare hands. From a collection of British spies beloved by Winston Churchill, who altered the war in Europe with their covert tactics. And we know about that collection of ragtag covert spies because of a great book called The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, which I reviewed and which I loved. Hi, there you. A fantastic book. If I remember, I will leave a link to my... People already say that they're not paying attention to anything I say because of you. All right, so he learns all the skullduggery that he can from them, from the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, and goes on to spread it himself. It sounds like a fascinating story, so I'm thinking I probably do want to review it. And then we have this big cardboard thing here, which of course does not open, has to be broken into like a bear into a winter cabin. It has a tab, but that never does anybody any good. Oh, fantastic. I requested this as well. It sounds right up my alley. Wow. Okay, this is by David Kurtzer, and it is called The Pope Who Would Be King. the subtitle is "The Exile of Pius IX and the Emergence of Modern Europe." And those of you who might be at all familiar with the popes will know that Pius IX was the pivot on which the whole enterprise turned in modern times. A fascinating person who has never, as far as I know, had a full-length biography in English. And I don't know that this is going to be one either. This looks, on first blush, when I first read about it, it struck me more as a historical study than, I was born in, that sort of thing. But let's see here. David Kurtzer is one of the world's foremost experts on the modern history of Italy and the Vatican. In 2015, he won a Pulitzer Prize in biography for his critically acclaimed book, The Pope and Mussolini. Okay, all right, great. I don't really care about him. Okay, there we go. All right, finally. The longest reigning Pope, Pope Pius IX, also oversaw one of the greatest periods of tumult and transition in church history. When he was elected in 1846, the Pope was still a king, as well as a spiritual leader. And the people of the Papal States sang his praises, hopeful that he would reform the famously corrupt system of priestly rule over which his much unloved ancestor, Gregory XVI, had presided. At first, Pius IX tried to please his subjects, replacing priests with laymen in government and even granting the people a constitution. But as the revolutionary spirit of 1848 swept through Europe, the Pope found he could not please both his subjects and defend the rights of the Church. The resulting drama, involving a colorful cast of characters, from Louis Napoleon Bonaparte and his rabble-rousing cousin Charles Bonaparte to Garibaldi, de Tocqueville, and Metternich, was one of treachery, double-dealing, and the international power politics of the day. By its end, the papacy and Europe was transformed. Now tell me that doesn't sound fascinating. Careful, you. Careful. Here you go. Seems to have it in for Julius Caesar. That's why she's knocking over. So one thing I need to figure out about this arrangement here, that I haven't quite done yet, is some way to wedge something in there and here to make flat, steady shelves. I haven't done that yet. So I just stack the books on the shelf, on the couch, and that's no good. That's good for landslides, but it's not good for the books. Great. Okay, so this comes out in May, and tell me that didn't sound fascinating. I don't know. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the table of contents just a bit. See if we can. No. Okay. All right. No. It starts with his election. So this is not a full dress biography, but maybe it doesn't need to be. Maybe it'll cover in a couple of paragraphs all you need to know about him before the Vatican. Okay, so the Pope who would be king, fantastic. So we're doing strong for our nonfiction, and then we've got a box that is is hermetically sealed, just completely impenetrably sealed. So let's see what we can do here. While we talk about the weather, still shirt sleeves weather here in Boston. On the first day of December, we have not had winter. We have not even had autumn. I took Frida for a long walk in the Arnold Arboretum this afternoon in my shirt sleeves on the first day of December. Just utterly unbelievable. Literally unbelievable. So the one thing we were sure of when I was a kid was that the world would never change. The people, yes. The bomb, yes. But not the world. And now... oh, fantastic. Okay, great. This is from the biblical... The religious publisher Zondervan, and it had to be sent to me from the warehouse, which is why it's getting to me late. And I think this is older. Yeah, this was published in December. Oh no, December 2017. Okay, this is brand new. Good. All right, great. This is their illustrated handbook to the Bible. That is just it is just gorgeous. It has all the multicolored timelines isolated by subject and character, but it also has gorgeous full-color pictures. And when historical characters or time periods are mentioned, they're given you're given a glimpse of it. It's just I am a sucker for these things. I love them, and nobody does them better than Zondervan. So this is fantastic. All right, so this is the 5th edition of the Zondervan Handbook to the Bible. Which has been, I mean, this has had millions of copies sold. in its 5 editions. Just millions of copies sold and given away and handed around. It's an invaluable aid for biblical students. I had an edition ages and ages ago that I used for a Bible study that I myself conduct, and everybody loved it. They thought it made things so much easier, which is great. Okay, so this is out any day. This is the new edition of a classic. Fantastic. All right, so that's our mail haul for now. We've got the Zondervan Handbook to the Bible, the new edition, The Pope Who Would Be King, The Saboteur, the two crackerjack history titles, and The Life List of Adrian Mandrick, which is a debut novel. You can't even see it; it's a total advanced thing that might have some charm to it. So we shall see. But I'm gonna wrap things up for now. I'll be back soon. Thank you, BookTube.